After 3 heartbreaking words, I discovered an unexpected path to healing and transformative love. The message arrived like a dagger, piercing through the fragile calm of Sarah's life. I can't stay here. Instantly, the weight of her estranged mother's words landed heavily on her chest, a suffocating reminder of the very fragility she fought so hard to ignore. How could the one person who had always evaded responsibility suddenly take flight? Every breath felt stilted, like the very air in the small hospital break room thickened with the panic she dared not display. "I have to hold it together," she murmured under her breath, yet nothing felt certain as her mind raced through the ramifications of this new turmoil. In the weeks since her father's sudden passing, life had taken on a relentless cadence of demands. Her younger brother, Jake, had grown distant, spiraling into a tantalizing world of rebellion that threatened to consume him. Each day, she balanced the demands of the hospital, patients, paperwork, and insistent alarms against the disarray that awaited her at home. How could one person shoulder so much? Hours slipped through her fingers while fleeting aspirations of nursing school lay dormant. Could she keep chasing that dream when her family was disassembling? As the responsibilities mounted, she sought refuge in the stern yet utterly compassionate Dr. Thompson. He embodied dedication, a near mythical figure who had witnessed countless lives change, yet always found time to lend an ear. "Sarah, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's okay to speak up," he had said, but she felt raw inside. Opening up meant revealing how the loss of her father and the absence of her mother had sent her spiraling. Vulnerability was a luxury she could not afford. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Dr. Thompson's gentle guidance kindled a flicker of renewed ambition within her, yet it came with complicated weight. What would her father think of her dreams when he passed without so much as a farewell? As the thought carved deeper into her heart, the hospital churned in chaos. A surge of patients, battered families navigating a minefield of economic despair. Each worn face she saw reflected stark realities that loomed just beneath the surface. Sarah felt the raw sting of the injustices, reminding her of the thin line separating her from the influential world of medicine and the fragility of life. Could she even be a voice for these people when her own life was a tangle of desperation? With each late-night shift, the line became blurrier. Just as she resolved to gather what strength she had left, an echo of her mother's words reverberated, a painful truth hidden under layers of complexity still unexamined. With each revelation about her mother's struggles, the stakes rose higher, revealing that she'd been unfairly walled off from the truth. And then there had been Lucas, a local artist whose carefree spirit and infectious enthusiasm caught her off guard. Their conversations breathed new colors into her gray world. Yet even as their budding connection delighted her weary heart, the shadows of her past grew darker. Every moment spent in openness with him recast her family's stories in a new light, dragging her closer to decisions she was unwilling to confront. Now, as uncertainty thickened like fog, Sarah stood on a precipice. Would she escape her mother's shadow or remain hostage to her family's legacy? Just as she felt her focus sharpen, a firm knock echoed through the silence, slicing through her thoughts. Each beat of her heart quickened. What lay beyond that door would shape her path, a choice of confrontation, compassion, or confounding chaos. The door creaked open, revealing a familiar but unexpected figure. Jake stood there, his once bright eyes now shadowed by the weight of his rebellion. The spark of defiance in him flickered, and for a moment, Sarah glimpsed the little brother she had vowed to protect, the one who had idolized her in their childhood. "Sarah," he began, his voice a hesitant whisper, barely rising above the chaos of their lives. "Can we talk?" Her heart skipped. Part of her wanted to slam the door shut, retreat back into the comfort of emotional distance she'd cultivated since their father's death. But the flicker of vulnerability in Jake's voice compelled her to step aside, to invite him into the storm swirling inside her own heart. As he crossed the threshold, Sarah felt an instant surge of protective instinct mingled with concern. They settled onto the worn couch, each fidgeting, bracing against the emotional clarity that lurked just outside their grasp. Gone was the carefree banter they once shared. What remained was a chasm of silence punctuated by memories both treasured and painful. "Can we just go somewhere?" Jake suddenly blurted, breaking the stillness like a shot fired. His disheveled hair fell into his eyes as he shifted. "We need to get out of here, just for a bit." "Where would we go?" she replied, uncertainty lacing her tone. This was the invitation she'd been waiting for, yet something felt fractured about it, both a plea and a challenge. "Anywhere," he said, frustration bubbling beneath the surface. "I can't keep pretending everything's fine, and I know you're not fine either." His words challenged her carefully maintained facade. What had become a quiet war of avoiding issues crumbled under the reality of his admission. She heard the tremor in his voice, one that echoed her own internal conflict. The desire for escape entangled with the weight of responsibility that bolted her to their shared reality. Should she give in? Abandon her responsibilities, even if just for a moment? Perhaps it was time to confront her own need for freedom, to explore what living fully meant beyond mere survival. "Okay," she said, surprising herself with her decisiveness. "Let's go." Moments later, they found themselves driving aimlessly through the familiar streets, neon lights blurring into a tapestry of color. Sarah's heart raced, not just from the thrill of the unexpected outing, but from the realization that this act of rebellion against their grim reality was a step toward reclaiming joy. "We could head to the art district," Jake suggested, his usual spirit bubbling with excitement. "You know, where that mural is?" As they parked and wandered toward the vibrant wall of colors, Sarah noticed how vibrant Jake appeared, shedding the fog of rebellion that had held him captive. She wanted that for herself. She wanted to break free too. Standing before the mural, an overwhelming sense of connection washed over Sarah, not just with her brother, but with a part of herself she'd long neglected, her own passion for nursing, her untapped dreams. In that moment, she caught a glimpse of the woman she could become, who wasn't shackled by loss or bitterness, but buoyed by potential. But as they stood there, reveling in the moment, Jake's phone buzzed urgently in his pocket. Each vibrating pulse echoed in her chest, heralding the return of discord, his friends, their plans. Straining to find clarity amid hope and chaos, Sarah felt the ground beneath her shift. "Maybe we should go back," Jake murmured, retreating to the reality they both tried to escape. Just like that, the moment dissolved, slipping through her fingers as the familiar shadows of responsibility loomed larger than the glimmers of hope. "No," she said, her voice firm yet trembling. "We can't go back just yet." The decision hung uncomfortably between them. In that unresolved tension, Sarah felt a clarity of purpose starting to crystallize. Would she allow herself to embrace this fleeting sense of freedom, or would she retreat once more into the shadows of obligation? The moment shifted, and she knew that whatever lay ahead would require a confrontation not only with her brother's world, but also her own choices, limitations, and perhaps even her mother's legacy. But a burgeoning sense of determination surged through her veins. The time had come to face the tumult of her past and the complicated nature of love and loss. Would she forge a new identity, redefine her dreams, or let the tumult dictate her path? As night fell, a storm of decisions awaited, a tempest of heart and mind inviting her deeper into the labyrinth of her soul. What lay ahead would reshape everything she believed about herself. In the dim light of the mural, with vibrant colors radiating around them, Sarah's heart felt simultaneously heavy and hopeful. The weight of her responsibilities tugged at her, But here, in this moment, she decided to lean into the potential of freedom for the first time in a long while. It was a sensation she had almost forgotten, a flicker of rebellion igniting her spirit as she grasped Jake's arm, willing him to understand. "Let's stay here a while," she urged, surprising herself with the depth of her conviction. "Let's just breathe." Although Jake looked hesitant, she sensed he was too slowly yielding to her presence. He nodded, his features betraying a mixture of relief and uncertainty. Together, they approached the mural, where abstract shapes and bold hues beckoned them to shed the burdens they had been carrying. The art was radical, yet unequivocally alive, an expression of passion and noise that hadn't been dulled by grief. "Do you remember when we used to draw together?" Sarah asked, her voice echoing the nostalgia of simpler times. "We would create entire worlds with just crayons and imagination?" "Yeah, I do," Jake replied with a ghost of a smile. "You always made me draw the sky, and I'd complain that we didn't have the right colors." There was a warmth in the memory, a stark contrast to their current realities. Longing stirred within her, a desire to reclaim those days when creativity was instinctual and dreams felt tangible. Maybe Jake needed to remember too. Maybe reclaiming their shared past could forge a renewed bond. "What if we painted a mural of our own?" she suggested, the words begging to escape as a plan unfolded in her mind. "What? Here?" Jake's eyebrows arched in disbelief. "Why not?" she challenged, excitement providing momentum. "It could be cathartic for both of us. We could express everything we've kept inside." A flicker of enthusiasm ignited Jake's expression, but the shadows of doubt soon clouded it. What if it's not good enough? What if people don't understand? A pang of recognition hit Sarah hard. Within his uncertainty lay her own fears, her dread of vulnerability that had stifled her aspirations ever since their father passed. Yet this was the moment to dismantle that fear. "It doesn't have to be perfect, Jake. It just has to be ours." There's freedom in creation, she thought. Each stroke of paint could signify a release of grief, of burden, and ultimately a reconciliation of their identities. Jake remained silent, but the weight of possibility hovered in the air. With each passing moment, she felt the layers of guilt and obligation peeling away, exposing the core of who she could become. A nurse, an artist, a sister unburdened by uncontrollable losses. Could this be the awakening she desperately sought? They descended into the concrete expanse, her heart pounding in sync with the pulse of bold creativity. Gathering stray supplies from around them, a discarded paint can here, a brush there, Sarah let her instincts take charge. As she mixed colors, a connection began to forge again, not just between them, but within her as well. Every cautious swipe of paint served as an emotion unleashed, an expression she hadn't dared share in far too long. Moments turned to hours, fascinating strokes of color emerging like degrees of healing. But an undercurrent of tension persisted, the chaos of their past always threatening to resurface. In her mind, Sarah confronted her mother's legacy, the expectations, the fear of failing, the belief that she had to uphold an image of strength at all costs. Wasn't strength also the courage to be vulnerable? "Hey, tell me something you want," she said abruptly, piercing the ambivalence in the air. "What do you really want?" "I want..." Jake trailed off, stilling his brush mid-stroke. His revelation hung there, heavy and promising. "I want us to be okay again. I want to feel like a brother, not a burden." His admission seemed to reverberate through her chest, awakening the desire within her to not only heal Jake, but to heal herself, to reforge connections lost in the deluge of grief. The bravado of her earlier intentions surged forth, pushing her to take a chance. Then let's define what that means, together. As they painted, pain and joy intertwined, a transformational tapestry of their lives woven into an expression of healing. But as colors mingled and dried under the night sky, Sarah's thoughts drifted to the horizon of her dreams, the nursing career she had sidelined. The moment coursed with urgency and realization. Their past lay submerged in the triumph of creativity, but she still avoided emerging fully. With every stroke, she felt she was crafting not just a mural, but a vision of the future, one where she could fully embrace her passions. What if she could incorporate art into her nursing career? "Can we make a pact?" she whispered, her voice laced with determination. "What kind of pact?" Jake responded, curiosity piqued as he wiped paint from his hands. "To always be real, to pursue what we truly want without the shadow of what we think we must be," she declared, her voice steady. His eyes searched hers, the walls built from shared sorrow growing fragile. The road ahead loomed, shimmering with uncertainty as revelations melded with the weight of obligation. In that defining moment, an unexpected chill swept over them as a distant siren pierced the night, pulling them back to reality, the reminder that the outside world still demanded their attention. As the siren faded, a new wave of resolve washed over Sarah. She would drag herself from the darkness, embrace her original aspirations, and become the sister Jake needed. Just as she began to cement her commitment in her mind, Jake's phone buzzed violently against the ground. It felt like a harbinger of trouble, a reminder that decisions had consequences. "Sarah," he gasped, fumbling for his device, "it's about our dad. They want us back home." In an instant, the artistic sanctuary felt tenuous, shifting beneath the demands of a fractured past. Would they retreat once more into the shadows or step forward, crafting their own destinies? Their mural unfurled into an unsolved puzzle of emotion, reflecting their struggle between stepping into the light or retreating back into darkness. The question that loomed large in Sarah's mind was whether they would accept the hard truth of their reality or defy it together. The phone buzzed on the ground, reverberating on the cold concrete like an alarm bell. Sarah's heart raced as Jake picked it up, his fingers trembling to swipe the screen. She could sense the gravity of the situation pressing down again, as though their encapsulated moment of creativity with the mural was in jeopardy of shattering under the weight of their unresolved family tensions. The urgency of Jake's expression unearthed her own insecurities. "Home?" she echoed, a frantic need to dissect the implications lacing her words. "What does that mean?" Jake's brow furrowed, his eyes darting, caught between the present joy of their spontaneous collaboration and the past they had thought they could temporarily escape. It means we can't ignore it anymore. The family, they need us." His voice trembled with a combination of fear and obligation. In the quiet twilight that wrapped them, the vibrant colors of their mural began to fade into the muted tones of reality. Sarah felt a familiar pang of duty constricting her chest, tethering her to a narrative shrouded in grief and expectation. They had just started to peel back the layers of their own identities. What would returning home do to that? "Jake," she said, her voice soft but firm, "if we go back there, it will just be the same old cycle. I want to break free from that." He looked at her, eyes widening with a dawning realization, or perhaps fear of the unknown. "But what choice do we have? They'll think we're abandoning them," he reasoned, voice shaking with his conflicting emotions. The temptation to yield to familial obligations loomed large. Sarah fought against it, digging deeper within herself to unearth the resolve that had emerged through their painting. "What if I told you there's something here, Jake, something worth fighting for, not just for them, but for us?" His gaze softened, but confusion wrapped around his declaration of duty. He was lost in the reverberations of his own upbringing, the notion that strength lay in unwavering loyalty. But hadn't she already seen the cracks in that strength? "I've been putting my dreams aside for too long. It's time I forge my own path, now or never." Each word was charged with intent, a declaration that echoed through the vibrant paint splatters surrounding them. Sarah's heart thudded with every syllable. Jake hesitated, caught in the pull of two worlds. "What if this goes wrong, Sarah? What if we can't handle it?" A flicker of understanding lit his eyes as Sarah leaned closer, anchoring him in the shared moment. "We can face anything as long as we're true to ourselves. I'm not asking you to leave it all behind. Let's take a stand together. Let's redefine what family means for us." The truth hung in the air, fragile yet potent. That moment, she grasped the very essence of their pact, a promise to create their own narrative, refusing to be mere players in a familiar script that didn't belong to them. "I want you to believe in the path of healing," she continued, urgency clawing at her. "Art isn't just for me. It can help us both. I can see it now. Art therapy and nursing, mixing the two." Jake's expression wavered between hope and skepticism, but Sarah pressed on. "Imagine if we could transform our pain into something healing, not just for ourselves, but for others too. We could be pioneers." As the paint slowly dried, Sarah felt the gravity of her vision resonate within her. The world beyond the mural beckoned with possibility, and she clung to it. Each brushstroke represented her aspirations realized, walls knocked down, and an authentic bond with her brother reimagined. "Are you willing to fight for that?" she challenged, locking eyes with him, anticipation crackling in the air around them. "Together?" he questioned quietly, as if the idea filled him with a creeping sense of fear, yet also exhilaration. "Together," she affirmed, sealing the ultimatum with the weight of newfound conviction. But just as they leaned closer, ready to dive into this collaborative literature of their souls, a second buzz erupted from his phone. The disquieting chime shattered the air again, jolting them back to reality. It was a message, the content hidden from her view, but potent enough to draw Jake's eyebrows together in tension. "Jake," she prompted, suspicion edging her voice. "What is it?" His face turned pale as he scanned the message, and for a fleeting moment, dread chilled the air between them. "It's," he faltered, the implications of whatever news awaited them tangible in the air, thickening the space with palpable anxiety. "It's Mom." As the urgency in his voice pierced through her resolve, doubt gnawed at the corners of her thoughts. Would she have the courage to confront the roots of her suffering, to stake her claim in this new vision, even if it led them back to the shadows? Jake's features tightened, caught in equal measures of worry and hope. Together, they stood on the precipice of a decision that could either uplift them or pull them into the very abyss they wished to escape. Would they embrace the tumult ahead, or would they succumb to the weight of expectation? In that tumultuous moment, the future shimmered before them, trying to discern whether it harbors paths of healing or despair, waiting for their next move to define it. The suffocating silence enveloped them as Jake's expression morphed from trepidation to reluctant courage. Sarah felt her stomach drop, a whirlpool of uncertainty swirling in her mind. The prospect of returning home, the familiarity of sorrow, loomed ominously, threatening to unravel their hard-fought progress. "Do we have to go back right now?" Sarah pressed, a desperate plea hidden within her voice. Every fiber of her being wanted to chase the liberation that the mural had promised, but the weight of obligation tethered her even as she fought against it. Jake hesitated, glancing down at his phone again, the very instrument that had summoned this impending reality. "I don't know how serious it is, but apparently she's feeling unwell," he admitted, his voice trailing off into an uncomfortable silence. They stood amidst their unfinished creation, a vivid reminder that life offered the prospect of transformation, yet here they were, faced with the shadows of their past. Sarah inhaled deeply, willing herself to confront her mounting anxiety. "What if this is our chance to reshape the narrative?" she suggested, uncertainty sharpening her tone. "We could go back and approach it differently, like a mission." "Mission?" Jake echoed. A mixture of skepticism and intrigue managed to slip through the veneer of his worry. "Yeah, see it as an opportunity. We can bring our art, our vision, and turn this family reunion into something positive. Let's see if we can heal these old wounds with creativity instead of just obligation." The determination in her voice surprised even her. This was an unexpected pivot, but the essence of her passion for art and healing surged through her, urging her forward. "But what if it doesn't go the way you imagine?" Jake countered, his brow furrowed, a storm brewing within him. "What if they push back, like they always do?" Determination steeled Sarah's resolve. "Then we meet that resistance head on. We can't continue to walk through life defined by their expectations. I want to show them and ourselves that we have the ability to create, to heal. Art can transcend anger and despair. As she spoke, Sarah envisioned the impact of sharing their creative process with their family, transforming shared pain into a living canvas of healing and understanding. She had been transformed by the mural. Perhaps others could be too. Jake's face began to soften, a flicker of hope igniting in his eyes. You really think we can change them? Not change them, she corrected, but inspire them to see. Everyone is hurting, caught in the same cycles, but we can offer them something new. Our family needs healing, and that starts with us. We have the power to shape that. An electric silence filled the air, the tension starting to ebb as a shared understanding began to form. But Jake's anxiousness still lingered. It feels risky. Every meaningful change is risky, Jake. Sarah focused on him, her heart racing with the realization that they might be on the brink of actualizing their vision. What if we took our pain and turned it into workshops, discussions, art sessions? We could weave our journey into theirs and create a safe space to address these feelings. For the first time since the message arrived, Jake smiled faintly, vulnerability dissolving beneath the warmth of her belief. Okay, let's do it. Let's face the fear together. He reached for her hand and clasped it tightly, a promise that resonated with newfound courage. They shared a quiet moment of understanding, anchoring themselves in hope amidst the uncertainty. Yet, as they turned back towards their unfinished mural, a loud crack split the air. It wasn't just a mere sound, it reverberated with the dissonance of their unresolved family tensions, an unspoken acknowledgement of what awaited them. What was that? Jake's eyes widened, the mirth in their moment evaporating. Sarah felt a knot in her stomach, the air thickening with trepidation. I don't know, but that sounded like it came from inside. A shared glance punctuated their uncertainty. They could either retreat and avoid the impending reality, or step into the unknown, ready to shatter the barriers that had kept them from truly healing. What if that sound is the old house trying to break free too? She mused, refreshing determination surging within her, spurred by a glimpse of possibility. Together, they took a tentative step toward the looming doorway, heart rates quickening as desire met dread. Just as they reached the threshold, an unexpected voice called out from inside, biting through the tension like sharp glass. "Sarah! Jake! Is that you?" The voice was unmistakable and filled with urgency. It was their mom, but the tone carried an edge of something inexplicable, electrifying the moment with uncertainty. With hearts pounding, they paused, the weight of their decision heavy yet promising. Would they step into the chaos and face the truth together, or would they turn back to seek shelter from the storm? The atmosphere thickened with impending confrontation, and another chapter of their lives beckoned. The door creaked open slowly, revealing the dimly lit interior of the house, a stark contrast to the vibrant colors of the mural waiting outside. The instant Sarah's eyes adjusted, she spotted her mom, slumped against the wall, a look of exhaustion etched across her features. The urgency in her voice trembled, demanding their attention and pulling them further inside. "Sarah, Jake, you need to see this," she rasped, gesturing weakly towards a torn family photo pinned to the wall. Each face captured, frozen in time, seemed to watch them, echoing the same unresolved tensions that permeated the family. Sarah could feel the weight of those gazes pressing in on her, like chains binding them to old wounds. Yet a spark of resolve flared within her. As they stepped into the cluttered living room, memories rushed back, shouts during heated arguments, tears blanketing their joyful moments. But for the first time, Sarah recognized a pattern. Navigating these emotional landscapes had always felt perilous, yet now she saw a potential path for healing laid out before them. It was time to confront, to innovate, and to transform their despair into something constructive. "What's wrong?" Jake's voice cut through the stillness, threading concern with a hint of trepidation. His protective instincts kicked in as he leaned closer to their mom, but Sarah understood that a different approach was necessary. It's your father," their mom said, voice quivering. "He's hurting too, maybe more than any other. He's trying to reach out, but it always turns into more pain. I think he's just afraid of admitting it." Sarah swallowed hard, the words igniting both empathy and the old familiar anger. She felt the layers of frustration peeling away, revealing a chance to confront the past not with resentment, but with the intention to connect. "Maybe we can help," Sarah said slowly, letting the courage swell within her. "We've been through so much. Perhaps it's time to transform this house, a place full of conflict, into a sanctuary of understanding." Her mom's brow furrowed. "How? It's never been like that." "But it can be. We both know it doesn't have to stay this way," Jake piped in, glancing meaningfully at Sarah. "Art was the catalyst for our own transformation. What if we initiate a family project, something that allows us to express feelings, to heal together?" Sarah's heart raced, already part of her mind mapping out details, workshops, discussions, a mural connecting their stories. Could it inspire healing? The vision felt bold, a radical departure from the silence that usually drowned their interactions. "Like what? Paint bomb the living room?" her mom asked incredulously, a half smile breaking through her worry. "Not quite," Sarah laughed, but pressed on, the energy of her idea blooming in her chest. "What if we invite him in, make him part of this process, each of us sharing why we're hurt, but also what we love about each other? It doesn't have to be just art, it can be poetry, music, anything that brings us together." Jake picked up on her momentum. "We can give him the tools to express himself. It could break the cycle. We can be free." Their mother hesitated, apprehensive. "You think he will cooperate? He needs this," Sarah pressed gently, her spirited resolve bolstering her words. "We all need this. Maybe it's scary, but change begins with vulnerability. We can set the example." The silence that followed felt thick, like a fragile glass waiting to crack. But within it, Sarah could feel the shift, a tension beginning to dissipate. "I'll talk to him," their mom finally said, her voice steadier now. "I still worry, but if you both believe this can work—" "Yes," Sarah urged, her eyes sparkling with determination. "Let's take the first step together. We can transform our legacy, lead with love." And as the three of them convened there in the dim light, the house hummed with dormant energy, a testament to all the storms it had weathered, but perhaps, just perhaps, a precursor to the burgeoning metamorphosis that lay ahead. Yet, just as the weight of hope began lifting spirits, Sarah's phone buzzed vibrantly in her pocket. One glance at the screen made her heart plunge. An urgent message from an unfamiliar number lit up before her eyes. "Things are about to change. You need to know." What could this mean? The uncertainty loomed ominous, threatening to unravel the fragile threads of progress they had woven. The room felt electric, the hopeful energy merging with an unsettling tension as Sarah clutched her phone. The screen still glowed ominously, each tick of time amplifying the dread churning in her stomach. What could the message mean? Her thoughts raced beyond the immediate familial task they had set before them. Could this be about her father? Nervous anticipation tightened her chest as the walls seemed to close in. "Who is it?" Jake asked, his brow furrowed in concern. "I don't know," Sarah admitted, trying to mask the tremor in her voice. "It's from an unknown number." She hesitated, glancing at her mother, who wore an expression of unease, as if she sensed a shift. "Read it out loud," her mom encouraged, leaning forward. With a deep breath, Sarah did as instructed. "Things are about to change. You need to know." Silence reigned in the room, punctuated only by the slight rustle of clothing as they shifted in their seats. Jake's gaze darted to their mother, confirming the same question hung between them. What did it mean? "Maybe it's a mistake," Jake suggested, sounding unconvinced. Or perhaps it's something serious, Sarah replied, a new resolve firming within her. Instead of feeling paralyzed by fear, she chose to consider this an imperative call to action. But that means we can't afford to backtrack. We're committed now to making everything better. Her heart raced with a mix of excitement and panic, but she refused to let the uncertainty consume her. Taking a deep breath, she decided to dive deeper into the matter at hand. Let's focus on what we can control. We need a plan, something concrete we can build from. Right, Jake nodded, obviously impressed by his sister's sudden clarity. What's first? The mural, Sarah said. Art has always been our family's language, even through the chaos. It's where we found solace. We can create it together, with Dad, make it a dynamic process. Each element we add can give voice to our feelings. Like a visual story, their mom mused, her demeanor shifting. But if he's not there to contribute, that's the point, Sarah interjected, her passion igniting. We have to invite him into this. We can't assume he'll withdraw. We need to lay the groundwork for him to share. Her mom's brows softened into something resembling hope. You think he'll be willing? It's risky, but isn't that the essence of breaking our cycle? Sarah pressed. If we keep waiting for things to change without doing something, we'll remain stagnant. We have a chance to do things differently this time. The thought of actively dismantling their entrenched dynamics filled her with determination. This couldn't just be about art. It was about learning to communicate, to trust each other. As she absorbed this reality, something clicked inside her. She was taking a step toward not only healing her family, but finding her own voice in the process. Together, they began strategizing. Ideas flowed seamlessly, a canvas that demarcated their individual emotions, transforming into a colorful tapestry. You could teach Dad how to express his struggles through this. Jake's eyes sparkled. We can help him discover that vulnerability isn't weakness. Exactly, Sarah exclaimed, nudged by her brother's enthusiasm. As they sketched out their plans, Sarah felt invigorated, a sense of purpose igniting deep within. The looming sense of change that the text hinted at no longer felt like an omen. Instead, underpinned by the knowledge of their family bond strengthening, she considered it an opportunity for transformation, a revelation that promised new beginnings. But just as newfound momentum surged, her phone chimed again, breaking the focused buzz in the room. Everyone paused, eyes darting toward her. What if it's more bad news? Jake asked, concern creeping back. I have to check, Sarah replied, her heart racing again as she opened the message. The instant her eyes scanned the words, a chill coursed through her. The text was more than just a sequence of words. It became her reality-checking prompt, declaring, "You must face him before it's too late." The weight of those words hung in the air, ready to tip them from hopeful planning into a necessary confrontation. How would she face the truth, one she had long tried to avoid, yet knew she couldn't run from any longer? The message lingered in Sarah's mind, echoing ominously like the chime of a long-forgotten bell. You must face him before it's too late. She hadn't prepared for this. Confrontation had always felt like possible catastrophe, not an avenue toward growth. But with resolve edging out her trepidations, she let the words wash over her, contemplating their deeper significance. Setting her phone down slowly, she felt a compelling urge to act rather than wait for clarity. Guys, she began, her voice steadier than before. This isn't just about the mural or Dad. It's about creating a space where we can all confront what we've been avoiding. Jake nodded thoughtfully, his expression contemplative. So, a confrontation? Like an intervention? More like an opportunity, she clarified. If we can lead with love and creativity, maybe we can shift the atmosphere for our family. If it feels safe enough to share emotions through art, maybe he'll meet us where we are. Preparation might help too, their mother suggested, her instinctual caution tugging at the edges of this hopeful vision. How do we even start that conversation? We could begin by sharing what we want the mural to represent, Sarah proposed. Each of us can express our individual emotions first, like pieces of a puzzle. Then we present it to him without pressure. She felt her heart race as she articulated this strategy. Each word became a stepping stone toward a necessary confrontation. Drawing in a steadying breath, Sarah envisioned her father standing before their canvas, surrounded by the colors and emotions that they would infuse into it. We have to let him see that we're not assigning blame, but working together. This is all about vulnerability and connection. Flowed out, and with them, something inside Sarah began to shift. Her thoughts spanned the potential impact of their art project, not just on their father, but on herself. It would require her to confront her own fears, vulnerabilities, and past disappointments. Was this an unconscious attempt to protect herself from the very confrontation she now proposed? "We can't let the fear of his reaction hold us back," she continued, her resolve firm. "If we approach him with our hearts open instead of guarded shields, we might carve pathways for dialogue. We could be the change." Jake leaned forward, clearly intrigued. "You really believe he'll engage with us? He's always struggled with that." "He's always struggled because we've never truly engaged him," Sarah replied, the rising conviction within her transforming doubt into clarity. "We followed his lead, locked ourselves in silence, afraid of stirring the pot. What if we initiate the conversation in a non-threatening way?" As they exchanged ideas, a unifying sense of purpose coursed through the room. They began to draft a list of emotions that would dictate the themes of the mural. Sorrow, hope, love, fear, and redemption each found a place as they fashioned a narrative guide. Sarah felt a surge of energy. It was as if a dormant part of herself began to awaken. "It will take time to draw him in," their mother cautioned, "but it could be worth it. He might surprise us." But the weight of uncertainty pressed down on Sarah. What if this backfired? What if the repercussions of their emotions were too hefty to shoulder? Her thoughts spiraled momentarily, but her commitment to growth and healing propelled her forward. "Then we face it, together," she responded firmly. "This is where we stop being passive observers and become active participants in our story. This is our turning point, and I will not shy away." With each brushstroke of her commitment, she built not just a plan, but a pathway forward, a personal development unlike any she had experienced before. However, as the evening deepened, another uncomfortable thought flickered through her mind. What if her willingness to confront her father brought more chaos than clarity? The fear of disappointment loomed large in her thoughts, casting shadows over her newfound resolve. With renewed energy, Sarah grabbed her phone once more, hesitating briefly before deciding to send a message to her father. A subtle nudge, a beckoning towards this imminent confrontation, a pivotal moment for change. "Dad, can we talk?" As she pressed send, she felt a rush of urgency, underscoring the gravity of her actions. Would he respond? Would he finally step into the light of their truths? The room felt charged with anticipation, a pivot on the edge of a precipice. With her heart pounding, she awaited the response, dreading yet craving the moment that could reshape everything. What lay ahead felt precarious, yet her growing determination wrestled with her anxiety. The time had come to face the demons they had hidden for too long. But could they emerge stronger for it? The next morning, Sarah woke to the stillness of the house, her mind a tumult of possibilities. Her father's response had yet to come, further fueling her doubts. Each tick of the clock seemed to amplify the uncertainty, and she wrestled with the tightness in her chest. What if he ignored her message? What if he hadn't even seen it? The mirror reflected a version of herself she barely recognized. Gone was the timid daughter who so often retreated into shadows. In her place was a woman eager to break through barriers. With a deep breath, she infused her morning routine with intention, allowing the rituals of brushing her teeth and pouring her coffee to become acts of preparation. Each small action felt as if it were lighting a spark, guiding her towards transformation. She sat at the table, coffee in hand, and opened her notebook. The first page bore the hastily scribbled list of emotions they had brainstormed together. With each word, she considered her own feelings. Sorrow and hope danced in her mind, interwoven with images of the mural. Would she have the courage to paint her truth before her father? Looking out the window, she caught glimpses of the budding flowers in her garden, a reminder of nature's resilience in the face of adversity. She thought about her past interactions with her dad, the silences that loomed larger than words, the missed opportunities for connection that felt etched in stone. Confronting those moments head-on felt monumental. Art could be the bridge, but she had to be willing to take the first step. As if drawn by an invisible thread, she picked up a paintbrush and started sketching ideas for the mural. With each stroke, her fears materialized and dissolved, revealing layers of hidden emotions and untapped potential. Sarah discovered that the act of creation was catharsis. What had once felt like an uphill battle transformed into a dance of colors and aspirations. The thrill of expression coursed through her veins, igniting a passion she had shied away from for too long. Yet, between strokes, uncertainty slinked back in. What would her father think? Was she merely masking her vulnerability with creative bravado? These questions pricked her confidence, but they also revealed something essential. The discomfort of uncertainty was part of the growth she yearned for. Suddenly, her phone buzzed on the table, interrupting her thoughts. She nearly dropped the paintbrush in a rush to grab it. A message from her father illuminated the screen. "Can we talk this afternoon?" A rush of emotions flooded her, anticipation mixed with an unmistakable nod of apprehension. Would she be prepared to articulate her feelings openly? Could she remain centered in her newfound resolve? She felt the weight of expectation. The conversation could dismantle the walls of silence or crash like a glass sculpture. Differentiating her breath, Sarah reminded herself of the purpose those brushstrokes held. Whatever transpired during this conversation would be a step toward honest reconnection. Regardless of the outcome, she would no longer cower. Determined to approach their chat with clarity, Sarah reviewed her thoughts, honing in on vulnerability's role in their dynamic. How could she frame her emotions so they wouldn't feel like accusations, but rather heartfelt expressions? This would not be about confrontation, but surrendering pieces of her heart, hoping her father could do the same. As afternoon drew near, Sarah stood before her canvas, the spirit of creation invigorating her as it never had before. She felt closer to her objective, growth, emotion, courage, intertwined with the strokes she painted. The mural would symbolize not only her journey, but serve as a reminder of their shared values waiting to be revived. With resolve hardening within her, she paused, staring at the artwork. It would be the visual embodiment of what she intended to share with her father. Would he recognize the love embedded in every color? Her phone buzzed again, this time from her brother, Jake. "Ready for this?" Sarah inhaled deeply. "I think so," she replied. Yet even as she accepted this challenge, a new concern slinked into view. Would her father truly hear her? As she prepared for their encounter, the urgency of their impending discussion painted her heart with anticipation. She felt tethered between hope and dread. What awaited her on the other side of this conversation could redefine not just their relationship, but her understanding of courage. But could she withstand the possibility of failure? Or would this monumental moment grant the healing they desperately needed? The clock ticked down, and Sarah squared her shoulders, the path toward her father's understanding already taking shape in her mind. The afternoon sun streamed through the window, illuminating the room as Sarah adjusted the canvas in anticipation. Her pulse quickened, a blend of hope and anxiety swirling within her. The vibrant colors she'd splashed across the mural took on new significance. They represented the emotional journey she was about to embark on with her father. Each hue screamed for identity, for connection, an artistic manifesto of what she had learned about healing and the power of vulnerability. As the clock ticked closer to their appointed time, a part of her wanted to retreat, to embrace the comfort of uncertainty instead. But as she glanced at the mural, a surge of determination pushed her forward. This wasn't just about the conversation with her father. It was about establishing herself as the architect of her narrative. She gathered her thoughts, mentally rehearsing the words she hoped would bridge the distance between them. How could she explain that they could redefine family through shared experiences? That emotional honesty could dissolve years of misunderstandings? The vision of their creative process loomed large, but could she invite him to participate? Would he dare to step into the unknown? Moments stretched, and the subtle knock at the front door sent a jolt through her. "Dad," she whispered, a mixture of apprehension and excitement bubbling within her. Taking a steadying breath, she opened the door, revealing the familiar yet distant figure of her father. "Hey," he said, his voice a fragile echo of warmth. She noticed the circle of shadows surrounding his eyes, the quiet acknowledgement of unsaid burdens he carried. "Hi, Dad," she replied, her heart hammering in her chest. As they stood in the threshold of their familial space, an unspoken bond connected them, an intricate web of shared history and the uncertainty of what lay ahead. Can I come in?" he asked, hesitating as if he feared crossing a boundary he had long established. "Of course," Sarah replied, stepping aside to allow him into the haven she had begun to reimagine through art. They settled into the living room, the atmosphere thick yet tinged with palpable possibility. Sarah sensed that this was the moment to embrace courage in place of fear. She needed to set the tone. "I wanted to talk about some things," she ventured, her voice steady but tinged with emotion. "Things about us, about the past." "I know it's been hard," he replied, glancing down. "For all of us." "Yeah," she said, slowly, the weight of all their untold stories pressing against her. "But I think we have a chance to change that." "What do you mean?" he asked, confusion flickering behind his eyes. "I've been painting. It's something Jake and I started," she explained, her voice sharp with newfound conviction. "We created a mural, a canvas of colors representing how we feel. It's a way to share our emotions without the weight of words getting in the way. I want you to be part of it." Her father looked surprised, his brow arching as he absorbed her proposal. "You want me to paint? You want to paint together?" "Yes," she affirmed, urgency creeping into her tone. "You don't have to be perfect, Dad. It's about expressing what's in here." She pointed to her heart, willing him to see her openness, her determination to face the unspoken. "Sarah," his voice trailed off, and for a moment she feared he would withdraw from this opportunity like he always did. But then the most unexpected thing happened. He took a breath, a heavy, weighty intake, and nodded. "I'm willing to try," he said finally, emotion weaving through his words like a thread of hope. A rush of warmth flooded her, the relief almost overwhelming. "Let's not just talk about what's broken, but what we want to create instead," she urged, her heart thrumming with anticipation. "Together, we can transform our past into something beautiful." Moments turned into hours as they engaged in the shared activity, laughter punctuating the silence as they experimented with colors, their brushes moving with a newfound sense of freedom. Each stroke represented an emotion, a release of stress, a building of something neither of them had anticipated. As Sarah watched her father's face light up with each splash of paint, shadows of yesteryears lifted ever so slightly. With every shared story, every anecdote about moments past, their shared vulnerability formed an invisible thread that connected them deeper than before. In that space of creativity, they learned to listen. He spoke about his fears of inadequacy, unshackling emotions imprisoned beneath years of silence. And as he shared, Sarah realized that this wasn't just about healing each other. It was about understanding that vulnerability was not a weakness, it was a strength. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting rich golden hues across their mural, Sarah felt a profound sense of achievement. They had birthed a new narrative that emerged from the ashes of their pain, a tangible symbol of connection, love, and resilience. In the melange of colors created within those hours, she saw her father reassembling his broken pieces along with hers. Much like the mural, each aspect of their journey was raw, unpolished, yet undeniably beautiful. This was more than a mural. It was their family's collective rebirth. "Look at what we've done," her father remarked quietly, smiling at the vibrant tapestry that hung before them. Heart racing, Sarah met his gaze, confidence blooming within. "Yes, we did this together," she affirmed, her voice unwavering. "This is just the beginning." And as the first stars appeared in the night sky, Sarah understood that not only had she embraced her passion for art and healing, but she had also solidified her role as a cornerstone within her family. She had transformed her uncertainty into a driving force, navigating through darkness and emerging as a beacon of growth and hope. With her father standing by her side, she knew they were no longer just trying to exist amidst their pain. They were rising to achieve a new standard of love, connection, and healing they had so desperately sought after. Now was the time for her achievements to run deeper, for growth to flourish brightly, and for each heartbeat to resonate within the walls of their home, embodying the beauty of resilience. This was Sarah's moment, her unmistakable transformation. A journey marked not by fear, but by a profound understanding of herself and her family. The mural became a living testament to everything they had conquered together, infused with the colors of their shared healing. And as she leaned back, surveying the vibrant masterpiece they had created, she knew the true testament of her personal achievement lay in recognizing that healing was an ongoing process, one she would navigate alongside her family for many days and years to come. If you resonate with this transformation, you need to subscribe now. Don't wait to miss the next emotional journeys that will inspire you. Leave a like now to help us reach more hearts and souls. Comment your thoughts about Sarah's incredible story and how you are overcoming your own challenges. And please share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who, just like Sarah, need to witness the power of resilience and healing. The time to show support is now. Don't delay and be part of this movement. Journey.